ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணவா அப்போ? Welcome to Bhumi's RTE campaign. Every child has the right to quality education. So that is why Bhumi wants to hold RTE campaigns. So let me tell you in brief about what Bhumi does. So Bhumi teaches kids during weekends at shelter homes for 2 hours. What we're trying to achieve in 1 year, one academic year, is to help children learn the basics about education better, get quality education, improve in their academics. So whatever we're trying to do for years can be done in few days time if the RT campaign is done and children are put in better schools. So the Right to Education Act, let's see what the Right to Education Act means. Every child of the age 6 to 14 years shall have a right to free and compulsory education in a neighborhood school till the completion of elementary education. So this is the act in broad. So no child shall be failed or expelled up to class 8, bars corporal punishment and mental harassment, no capitation fees, and then no screening for admission. Children should not be made to write any exams, or parents shouldn't be interviewed, and no schools without recognition. Also, when we mean recognition, that they should be affiliated to the CBSE board or the matriculation board or the state board. Any schools without recognition does not come under the Right to Education Act. So let's first see what are the three types of schools. First is the government school, which all of you must be aware of, which are run by government, where free and compulsory education is provided to all children. And the second one is private aided school, which is owned by a private management, but they get government aid, financial aid. Um, and then there is private unaided schools, which are run by individuals or a management. It's a for-profit organization where all our major schools, private schools, come under the private unaided schools. So let's go into the RT section 12C, which is what we're going to look at in detail. And this is a campaign which we are going to do. So 25% of seats in private aided and unaided schools are allocated for the underprivileged people. So what this means is in the incoming class, in say if the school starts from LKG or the school starts from class 1, so that incoming class, the first class, 25% of fees, 25% of seats in that class should be given for underprivileged people for free. So that is what the RT Act states. So when we say underprivileged, what do we mean? So there are the government has defined it. So one first thing is the family's income should be less than a specific amount. So this differs from state to state. In Tamil Nadu, it's less than 2 lakhs. In Andhra Pradesh, it's less than 60,000. So in different states, the limit is different. Uh, and the second category is disadvantage. That is, if the parents fall under the SC, ST, MBC, BC, disabled, orphan, HIV affected, transgender, scavenger category, then they can also apply for this 25% quota in private unaided and private aided schools. So, no direct school fees or indirect fees, that is uniforms, textbook fees, midday meal fees, or transportation fee to be borne by the family. That is, parents should not be charged for any of these facilities which are mentioned here. That is what the Act states. So why 25% is statistics shows that approximately 24.6 percentage of our population falls under the underprivileged category. That is why 25% of seats in private aided and unaided schools should be allocated for underprivileged children for free. Why entry level? So children, when they join young, at a starting stage, can cope better to the environment and learn from the basics, so they're in the right education mode from the beginning. So that is why only entry level. So entry level means whichever class the school starts from. So say some middle schools, some higher secondary schools start from only class 6. So the child can join in class 6, but free education is available only till class 8. So RT Act states that the free education is from class 1 to class 8. So even if the child joins from LKG, then it's free till class 8. Even if the child joins from pre-KG, it's only till class 8. And even if the child joins in class 6, it's only till class 8. The free education is available. So neighborhood schools only. What does this mean? So the child's residence should be within 1 kilometer radius of the school. So this is for class, if we're admitting the child in class 1, LKG or pre-KG, then the child's class should be within, the child's residence should be within 1 kilometer radius. If there are no schools within the 1 kilometer radius, then it can extend up to 3 kilometers. But whereas for class 6, it automatically is from up to 3 kilometers. So this is mandatory. Only with this criteria, children can be admitted in the neighborhood schools for free. The limit can be extended by state governments if seats are not filled, but this hasn't happened over the years, so we're hoping it wouldn't change as well. So the RT exemptions, so schools in Jammu and Kashmir are not do not come under the RT Section 12C Act. The religious schools, so say Hindu minority school, Christian minority school, or Muslim minority schools, they are not obliged to take children under the RT 25% Act. So that means that they need not accommodate children for free. Unaided minority schools. So there are not only religious minority schools, there are also linguistic minority schools. There'll be a say Urdu minority school or a Telugu minority school. There might be minority linguistic minority schools. Even they are not obliged to admit children within the 25% quota. Boarding schools or residential schools also need not admit children for free. But say if the school has both boarding and the day scholar system, like say few children stay within the campus and study and few come from their homes, then the number of children who are attending on a day scholar basis, the number of children who are attending regular schooling from home, number of seats allocated for that, 25% of that number of seats need to be given for free to underprivileged children. So, what are the documents which we need to admit a child under the RT 25 quota in a private aided or unaided school? So, copies of of all the following documents are needed. So, application form. So, there is a generic application form which is published by the government of India, which is available online. But unfortunately, not all schools accept this. Some schools they have their own forms which have to be filled out. So any application form is mandatory. Birth certificate, community certificate, income certificate, address proof, that is ration card or any government ID, Aadhaar card, electors or voters ID. So, all parents tend to have the birth certificate, or if not, it can be obtained from the local corporation. And then the community certificate and income certificate can be obtained from the local taluk office or tashaldar's office on lodging request. The parents receive it in 3 days. Um, so these are the documents which are needed to admit a child in a school. The school cannot demand any more details. These are the only details which the school should request to admit a child in the RT 25% quota. So what we as individuals can do to make the general public aware about this act is um, because so we can distribute pamphlets on RT in the community. We can make people aware that there is an option where people can admit their children for free in good reputed schools for free. We can stick. pamphlets in common areas with permission. So, say if there's a grocery store or a medical store in that area where the community goes to on a daily basis, if we paste pamphlets or posters there, then the parents would see it, and then they would call our helpline number to find more about it. Or we can set up a help desk in that area. So through our previous campaigns, we've seen that when we go door to door and do cold calling, not many people believe that free seats are possible, or they were quite skeptical about our intentions. But whereas when you set up a table under a tree in that area, people are curious, they want to know what it is about. Say they come to you, they ask what it is about, and the message spreads through word of mouth. Say if a child in the right age group, the parent of a child of in the right age group finds out this an option like this, then she would tell her friends who have children in that age group that there's an option like that, so they come to you and we can spread the message like that. And then contact your own school. So um, wherever the schools you've studied, you're an alumni of, you can go approach them and find out if they're open to admitting children under the RT quota, and find out the application procedures, if they have their own application, or how many number of seats they have. All that can be done. Capitalize on your contacts. Like I said, when you go into a community, they're skeptical about your intentions, but say if you know somebody from the community, say your domestic helpmate or your driver is from that area, and you go with them, they know that you're a legit person, people, they can trust you, and then you're genuinely there to help them. And calls and form filling, so we have a helpline number which we will be circulating in our pamphlet. So parents will call back to that number. That number is a is in a format where the parents can only give us a missed call. So they call us and the call gets cut after the first ring. So we need to return all these calls and solve the parents' queries. They'll have doubts about the act and how to go about it. So this can be done over phone. So we need volunteers who can return calls. And another one is form filling. Though parents go and obtain the application, not everyone um, know. Some of the schools have application in English. Some of the parents don't know to fill the application even in the vernacular language, so they will need support in filling out forms. So you can go ahead and volunteer to do that as well. So if you let us know if you're interested in the campaign, we will get a coordinator in that area to help you out with the process. So what you can do as of now is reach out to private government aided schools in your area and find out which are the schools which are willing to admit children under RT 25%. Though this is a act which is mandatory, not all schools are following it. Um, Unfortunately, no action has been taken against them yet in many states. I know in Mumbai and Pune there has been some action by the government, but not every state government is taking action against the schools which do not admit children. So we'll have to find out which are the schools which are okay to admit, and then make a list of those schools in that area, and then go to the community and spread the word saying this school is admitting, this school is open to, we'll help you with the process. You can coordinate with volunteers in your area. Say 5 or 6 of you are from the same area who want to do this. You can all get together. One of you can target schools and find out a list. One of you can go campaigning in the community. One of you can return calls or solve the queries. It can be a group combined effort. So, if you're interested, please write to rt at bhumi.org.in, or you can log on to our website rt25.bhumi.org.in to find out more details which are published state-wise. And to volunteer with Bhumi, register on bhumi.org.in, and follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/bhumi.org. Thank you. Thanks for listening.